Hey everybody, this morning we're gonna install I don't know what it's called, here it is, a lift table bracket. So this is for a vintage trailer. This will keep the table against the wall and then it'll be able to swing down and become the bed between the two banquettes. So this is how the package comes. Those are the directions. Pretty much this is your hardware kit. These go on the table and these four here will go on the wall. These two will hold this in place. These two will clip those ends in, and these two will go on the table like this, and with those little hooks there, that's what holds against the table wall. So what you'll do is just lay this thing down. Try to do this by myself here. You lay this down. This clip goes over it like that, and then from the edge you got to leave yourself a little bit of space for it to clip into the wall. So since I'm by myself like normal, I will take this assembly, I will screw it, and then I will show you the next steps. We'll be back. All right, real quick. So when I do these, for now, I'm only going to put in 2 of the 4 screw holes because I need to make sure the mechanisms where I want it, how I want it, it's going to work before I put extra holes into the table. Another thing to consider is table thickness. If you only have a 3/4 inch table, then make sure your screws, you can actually use a 3/4 screw because the thickness of the metal plate going onto here will eat up enough where this won't poke through. So keep in mind the thickness of your table. And now this one, so when, I know it's upside down, but this would be in bed position. Then when it goes up, this just lifts up out of the way. So real quick, I'll show you where this is going in here. It's going to get attached to this wall. So normally it would be the other way. So this trailer came in to build the front banquette, and I talked her into switching that table mount. But what I have to do is I actually have to do this backwards and mount the table first because we have a ridge up here and I can't make anything go higher than that. So I will get the mounting brackets up to the top so I know the height of it, and then I will set the table up for the right height, and then I will build the seats to match the table so everything's proportionally correct. It's not normal to go this way, but with I'm going to call it a pony wall across the front, you're kind of limited to height. You have to make sure that it fits in there. So we'll be back. All right, so here is the table pretty much set up. So what I did was right here, I marked the center of the wall, center of the table, I lined it up, then I propped it up with some blocks and stuff because I have nothing here to begin with. And I screwed these plates in, which I'll show you, and I have a leg underneath. So what happens with this table setup is you collapse the leg, lift it up, and then those are attached to the wall right here. And then when this sits down, that's your bench height, and that makes a full bed. This is a pretty good system, especially if you're using the front for a banquette. And then same, once it's up, you just lift it up a little bit so these tabs get into these slots. Set it down, drop your leg, adjust it, set it, table's done. Pretty simple set. So now that that's done, I'll be able to build the banquettes on both sides to the right height of the bed and the drop. And normally if you have a full wall and you have your banquettes in, you would set it the other way. But like I said, this one came to me to add the banquette seats to it. So that's what we're going to do. I hope this has helped you understand these table hinges. I'm going to just pull this off my makeshift stand real quick. So you can see underneath here, the leg, it's on a hinge and it has a button. So this leg will collapse. And then the bottom has an adjustable foot, so whatever height you want your table at, there it is. And then underneath those table mechanisms is these brackets here hold the swing arm onto the wall. And like we were talking about, these ones here, you have to mark, put on the wall, attach them. There's some work I have to do to get this to be finished. Those aren't the right screws. I just put in 2 screws temporarily on most items in here, as you can see, just so I can get the fitment, make sure it's right, and then I will screw it down, and then we'll come back and I'll show you when the bench seats are made, since that's not what we're really recording, and I'll show you how this sits in to make the full bed.